So as you can see from yesterday, Euro USD didn't do much, which is quite fine to see because based off of Powell's speech from last week, you could see that the Fed are actually going to be monitoring the data. Their policy now is going by a data base in which they're going to be monitoring the data this week. And which data do we have this week? We have the core CPI and the that's the consumer price index, and then the PPI also. So, and this measures like the inflation data, right? So with inflation still being above 2%, like the Fed target, which is 2%, so we still have that problem. So that could, so for example, how would it work? So if the Fed increased the rate, right, which is good for the dollar, like they increase the interest rate, then inflation would be under control, right? And but the problem would be unemployment, right? So unemployment might increase, and which is also a problem at the moment for the US. So if they, meanwhile, vice versa, right? So if they drop inflation rate, sorry, if they drop the interest rate, inflation rises, but unemployment drops. So it is, so that's why they're going on a data to data base. So that's why for us, for technicals, right, we have our technicals already, so we're just waiting for the fundamentals to start to align so we can perhaps take some dollar longs, which would translate to Euro USD shorts, or maybe go for dollar shorts, which would translate to Euro USD longs. But so that's basically what I have in store for the week and what I'm looking out for the week. But based off of what Euro USD is doing now, you can see, okay, to our left we grab this liquidity, and now we're pushing downward. Where's our fractal low? Our fractal low is here, our fractal high is here. So you can just see this just consolidation in between this fractal low and this fractal high. So I expect that to continue for quite some time. Let's see what happens. Um I I expect most traders are also waiting for the data to come out. So let's keep an eye out for how this wants to develop. But you can see we've grabbed liquidity to our left. This is the break of structure, right? So we have right here, here was our structure, right? So we had the break of structure right here, right? So from this line, so if we take this high, right, from here, see here, you can see this also that 0.5 region. So if we start to break the fractal structure with momentum, then perhaps you could start to look for shorts, but I would be careful with this, as it could just be a fake out and then come take out the high, as it's showing like it's ranging at the moment. So there's no clear direction yet, so I would just be cautious. Perhaps we see some higher prices and grabbing liquidity above. Let's wait and see. For the dollar index, you can see it's also similar. After grabbing this liquidity to our left here, we started to retrace, and now we're just moving sideways. So we've grabbed this liquidity, although we haven't connected with this open area of demand. So for me, it's all about just waiting. I would like to perhaps see one more push down, and then maybe from there we could get those bullish momentum coming into the market towards the end of the week, right? And if the numbers favor buys, but if not, we reevaluate and see how we want to sell it. But with the dollar, you can say, okay, these are swing low, these are swing high, right? Right here is like final boss of liquidity, so we might still have like push down into this area. So for from here, you just like perhaps you just want to take that position like this, right? Once it gets there with your stops right below the lows, and then just targeting that new high for a new impulsive phase, right? So let's see what happens. Maybe we push up from here, or maybe we push up from deeper. But those are both areas that I'm keeping my eye out for dollar longs. For GBP USD, right? So we grab this area of liquidity above. I would still like higher prices on this thing. We have this descending highs. So I'm still waiting. Hopefully we get some higher prices towards the end of the week, and then maybe from there we could short GBP USD as it's still a bearish market overall. Okay. So yeah, and we've taken out this liquidity. So anything below here, you're shorting in a danger zone, right? So you want that deeper retracement, and then from there you could look for those short again. Um, NZD is similar, right? So we've had that breakup structure right here, and then from here downward, anything shorting is a bit dangerous. So, and the thing with NZD also, we have our yearly open area around here, so which could also act and push the market up higher for us to we could actually look for longs on this one. It's quite a possible. So if we start to see maybe double fractal structure break, we could look for longs targeting this area, maybe into this monthly open, because we would just be from the yearly open. But I would like maybe we see one more swipe of the low, if possible, and then that change of character giving us that break, and then we can look for those longs from this yearly open area. It doesn't always have to touch it to the T, but it's more like an area rather than just a line, because give me a second. Sometimes these lines can get confusing. Yeah, yearly open as well. So where is the yearly open? Yeah, right here. Okay. So it's more of an area rather than just a line. So keep that in mind. Let's see how that develops on and say the USD. But looking for longs on this thing is not bad to take to this area. With AU, you can see, okay, we pushed into the supply zone that we're targeting, and from there we started to reject. I'm not the biggest fan of AU at the moment, because our swing structure, as we've always discussed, is bullish, and this is an area of demand. This consolidation is an area of demand. So it came into this area of demand, and now it's pushing up, right? And now we have another supply right here. So one of this has to break. I don't want to be trading in between the supply and demand. It's not, yeah, it's not my cup of tea. So I would rather wait and see what happens on this. Okay, for USD CHF, quite similar to as we've been discussing, right? This pair at the moment, it's sideways, right? So it's bearish, but also you can see it's been moving in a box for quite some time now. And yeah, we have these areas of liquidity that we've grabbed, and now market is pushing down lower. It is looking good, like, to take those short positions, but also because of market conditions, I would be careful with this, because okay, if this sell, our buy up before the sell down, and now we've pushed back into it. So, and now we're just pushing back down lower. I cannot see, maybe this would act as our liquidity, and our liquidity, if we start to see these areas get grabbed, and then we see that change of character come into the market towards the end of perhaps we could look for those shorts, or maybe it could just start going down lower and lower and lower. So sometimes the market moves like that and not giving you any opportunity, so we just leave it, and if it does give us an opportunity, we'll take it. But for now, I don't see any clear-cut opportunities to take a trade in this. With gold, we pushed up yesterday and pushed up beautifully yesterday, as discussed. So into this liquidity area, right? Which we've been targeting for quite some time now. Unfortunately, you got bought based on the break of this high, but honestly, I wasn't even on the market. I woke up and I saw this, so it was already too late, and the move happened. So now we're here. Looking for short on gold is a bit redundant, honestly. because it's a bullish market. But also, I recognize, okay, after grabbing this liquidity, we could have that retracement. I would wait for that retracement perhaps, and then look for the longs in this market. So we have our liquidity low. You have one right here. Um, because it's gold in the spirit of being extremely bullish, let's not ignore this one also, right? So we have this lows, also this one. So let's watch out for those lows, and once we've grabbed those lows and we see a change of character, then we can look for the longs on this pair. For USD CAD, we kept retracing. I'm still waiting. I would like either fractal high break or some lower prices, maybe taking out this low also, and then that would just be beautiful, as I would just, this is how I sell before this buy up, and I could just look for new positions inside. So, and it would just be because, okay, now if we take this, right, so let's take our PVD tool, right, we retrace to 50%, so we know, okay, the Fibonacci buyers here are already in the market, so we can take them out, come into discount prices, and then look for those for the longs. Let's see how that works out towards the end of the week. Similar story with USD JPY. I'm interested in longs, but I would like to see some lower prices, some liquidity being grabbed below, and then from there we could start to scale in and look for further positions. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. I wish you a wonderful trading week. Take care.